Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Hangover Sundays. I'm your host, Zodicus Life, and sorry about no episode last week. There was a combination of things going on there. One of them, there was some technical difficulties, and the second part, I was lazy. So that's the truth to that. Today I'm going to touch on some more philosophy, might change up the scene a bit. It is kind of a pain in the butt to move my computer and my camera around all over the studio area. So, tying in with that laziness, maybe we'll touch on that in philosophy today. I just want to say hello, and I hope you enjoy this episode and that your hangover isn't absolutely terrible, maybe just a little bit or none at all. And I'll see you in just a moment. Hello there, and thanks again. Hello there, and thanks again for joining me for my 1 minute philosophy, or 2 or 3. I wanted to kind of touch on laziness and procrastination, just because that's kind of partially what happened on my last episode that should have been aired, but didn't. There was some technical stuff as well, but I will admit that there was some laziness and procrastination, so I figure, why not touch on some of these subjects, or at least get the definition out there? I mean, everyone knows what it means, but do you know what it means? I don't know. Let's touch on it and see what we can come up with. I checked out my world books of knowledge, and lazy or laziness, procrastination or procrastinate was not in those books. So apparently it wasn't a pronoun thing when those books were published. Back in the 90s, not too long ago, but long enough. So here's a definition of laziness. Just went on the internet and found some good sources, but laziness, also called indolence, is disinclination to activity or exertion despite having the ability to do so. It is often used as a pejorative related terms for a person seen to be lazy, included couch potato, slacker, and bludger. So that's a mighty profound definition. All the other ones were just doesn't have the urge to work or things like that, which I found kind of boring. So I found a more kind of interesting topic or definition for you. Procrastination is a great one. I mean, I suffer from that. I'm sure you do, and most other people do. I mean, hey, wasting time is not time wasted, right? Procrastination is the practice of carrying out less urgent tasks in preference to more urgent ones, or doing more pleasurable things in place of less pleasurable ones, and thus putting off impending tasks to a later time, sometimes to the last minute before a deadline. I used to do this for school projects, and I know tons of friends that have done it themselves and continue to do so. It happens. Most of us do it. Don't do it if you can help it, though, which is usually pretty tough to beat. I didn't really philosophize about those things, but procrastination and laziness really wasn't in scientific kind of terms, like especially around Freud. We knew more about animals trying to figure out tricks to get out of cages or to be fed, or what animals do for happiness, but we really hadn't touched on a lot of stuff with laziness in sciences. Like when you have a hard task to do and you decide to put it off just because you know it's going to be a lot of work and you're too lazy at that time. I don't know why there wasn't a lot of research. There may be more now. I haven't looked. I'm too lazy to do that. But let's talk about some philosophy. How about if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? How perplexing is that? I have my own theories on it just from different sciences that I've learned. The way I think it, if no one is around, no squirrels, bugs, birds, people, nothing that can see it or observe it, I feel that it potentially, keyword potentially, does not make any sound at all. From some sciences that I've learned and come across and researched, that scientists would fire off different particles through a little slit, and it would come through, straight up and down, make lines. And then when they did 2 slits, it was kind of sporadic. And now when they did it unobserved, it would show up in a wave pattern instead of like an up and down, which is very, very strange. And then when they tried to observe it by mechanics or camera, it went back to the up and down streams and being kind of sporadic all over the place. So the mere fact of observation or recording or any type of mechanical or the intent to observe actually changes the outcome of how things function. So this is why I think that there's a chance that it doesn't make any noise if no one's seeing it. Now, some people are going to say, oh, but what about God? God sees everything, so he's observing it. Why doesn't that change it? Well, we can even apply that to the fact of when the research was being done with these particles being fired off. Obviously, God, or whatever you would like to put title on, was observing that at that time, so they obviously don't have an influence on such things, so you can just scratch that off your list. All right, that was my philosophy. I can't talk. That was my philosophy for today. May have been 1 minute, maybe 2. I don't know. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching another episode of Hangover Sundays and really hanging on when I miss my weeks here and there. I promise I will try and do my best to keep it weekly. If I can't do that, at the very least, I want to do it every other week. Keep in touch. Subscribe. Like me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and G+, and all the other social media that's out there. And shoot down some suggestions if there's anything you want to know about. Again, thank you for stopping by, and never forget to smile. Sagan, come here. Hey, you. Come here. Come here. People want to see you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hello. Hello. Fine, I'll bring you to me. This is my buddy Sagan. Say hello, Sagan. And that's him saying hello. Have a wonderful day.